Hey, welcome to a pick a card here. These are going to be timeless readings. So whenever you see this, whenever you come across it, this reading and message is for you. It's a creative pick a card. So are you interested in the metallic watercolor set here? Gold, silver, and bronze. Look how cute and mini that is. Butcher string, but it is so fun. I use it all of the time for wrapping presents or fun creative projects. Or are you excited about this calligraphy pen and quill here with that specific tip? Calligraphy pen, string, creative string, or watercolor set, pile 1, 2, or 3. We are going to get started with pile 1 here. I'm going to set these off to the side. So if you chose the watercolor set, this reading is for you. I set that off here. We're going to do a couple of these cards and then get into a little bit of a tarot card reading. We'll choose some tarot cards. So pile 1, what do you have as starting cards here? We have Rain, Freedom, and the Raccoon. Oh, this is fabulous. Okay, so if you chose pile 1, let's start with Rain here. There is so much, this card is called Fecundity at the top and Rain, but this card talks about so much abundance coming your way. You might not see the fruits of your labor yet. You might not see the outcome, the very last outcome, but there is so much that is being seeded. There's so much that is being grown here in this card. She's kind of wrapped up. It looks like she's not cold, but she is vulnerable here. So there's a vulnerability about starting projects and about digging into things that you don't know where they're going to go yet, right? You get really excited about a sailing trip, or you get really excited about going back to school, but you don't know what the outcome is. You don't know like where you're going to end up necessarily, or how the trip is going to go, even if you have a destination for that sail trip. Or if you want to go back to school again, you don't quite know what you're going to do at the end of it, or how you're going to get the funds or the money to go back. But there is so much inspiration here. There's so much support for your project already. There's just so much hope here coming up here. And inside of you, there is something that's like waiting to grow. So if you are seeing this card, it is time to really put your love, attention, energy into growing whatever it is that you are excited about. It's not a time to see the fruits of your labor, but by all means, feel free to reach for your dreams. It's also a card about releasing. The Rain is really encouraging us to let anything that isn't a part of us wash away at this time. And here we go, straight to freedom. So look at how held you are in this card. It's really a time to let whatever your heart's desire is shine forward with this card. Then the eye upside down here, I love. It can be the third eye. It can be that higher self kind of watching for the vision above. But when it's upside down, it's really saying it's not time to like listen to your mind. It's really a time to lean into your heart. And look at how held you are by nature. You're held by the natural processes that are happening around you. So think about timing, think about divine timing. If something isn't happening immediately, remember to look at your stars, right? So remember to see the light in the darkness. If there's one small bit of hope, if there's one small string of excitement, if there's one small touch of like enthusiasm or encouragement you can see through like a dark time, hold on to whatever it is that keeps you going through anything you can't see right now, because at the end of it, there's going to be a freaking gorgeous rainbow, a really beautiful outcome to whatever it is that you are moving towards right now. And that's going to be your ultimate freedom, the expression of your biggest heart's desire, even if you can't see your way right now. And that's kind of the most fun, even if it's the most hard to do, to move forward towards your dreams with excitement, with enthusiasm, with care, without really knowing how it's going to end up, right? So that's what this card is really encouraging you to do. Find your freedom, lean towards your freedom, and know that the end goal isn't what you're supposed to be seeing or experiencing right now. Enjoy the joy of the path through. And Raccoon, I love Raccoon. So Raccoon card is also about letting go. Raccoon is an exceptionally what's the word I'm looking for? Strategic character. They are digging through the trash to find what they want. They are up at night, so they work really well in your intuition, in the dark, when everyone else is like sleeping. Raccoon is up and going. They're masked, right? Look at their cute little faces being masked, which means they can kind of flit in and out of a lot of different kinds of situations here. So the Raccoon is asking you to be flexible. The Raccoon is asking you to be thrifty and find things that you need, even in the most most unlikely of places. The raccoon is telling you to be excited at times and places where other people are not. You are going to find your answers, pile number one, in places and things and situations that other people might not look this month. So it's really fascinating. You're going to have a really fun, I keep saying month, so maybe it is this next month for you whenever you are seeing this, but this is going to be a time where you're just kind of digging into the feeling of things, letting anything go that doesn't support your ultimate vision, and really leaning into just moving forward towards your heart's desire there, and looking and efforting in places that like might not be very obvious to other people. Let's go ahead and just get a few tarot cards here for you guys to kind of flesh out the rest of this reading. What else would be so helpful for, wow, okay. Pile one to know here. We will start with 3 and clarify from there. Okay, so you have the King of Swords upside down, the Hierophant, and the Hangman. Wow, okay. So first of all, the King of Swords. The King of Swords here in the reverse is telling you to screw the man. Like, do not listen to anyone that is going to tell you how it should be, how you should do it, how to get it done. This is really a time for you to lean into what is important to you. If you have someone in your life that's like being overbearing, telling you like what the rules are, telling you how to do something, telling you to do something logically, when you think that you really want to follow your heart, when it's your heart that you need to listen to, just give them the I love you and I got to talk to you later, because it's really a time for you to follow your heart into whatever it is that you are blossoming here. And people around you this time period might not understand. That's what the King of Swords is. The King of Swords understands. He understands the logical way forward. He has a plan. He's exceptionally brilliant in a way that his mind is like, I got it. I know exactly how things should be. When we see this card in reverse, it's someone around you or in your sphere that might not understand. They might see you doing something that's like completely illogical. Following your heart is not a logical process, right? And that's what this whole moment is telling you, is really encouraging you to do. Follow your heart, even if you can't see the way forward. Trust in your dreams, even if you can't see the end result yet. Know that you are being totally flooded with abundance and fertility, like all of the elements that you need to grow into something that you really want, and know that you're going to find it even in the most unlikeliest of places. That's not what the King of Swords knows. The King of Swords knows like the right plan, the next step, how to lay it all out. So just kick anything to the curb that isn't totally from your heart right now, which is really interesting that it's followed by the Hierophant. This is really saying that you need to make your own rules this month or this time period. But it's also about finding the right teachers, the right education, the right systems for you to be a part of. So there could be like an occult group that you're really excited about, or there could be like a sailing teacher that you really want to actually get the real skills from to move forward on your heart's dream of sailing around the world, right? Or there will be someone that will help you very tangibly and very structuredly move towards your goals, move towards your ultimate heart's desire here. So find the right mentor, the right teacher, the right class. And it's not going to be like a person in your life necessarily, maybe that you know. This really needs to be, the Hierophant as a major arcana card is really going to trump this King of Swords. It's going to be really like a relationship or like a class, or, you know, even like a spiritual teacher. Someone is going to really come forward this time period for you here, pile number one, that's going to lead you forward into something that is really good for you. And actually, why don't we just go ahead and clarify the Hierophant, since I am clearly looking for more information from that for you guys here. What can pile number one? Oh my gosh, beautiful. The Lovers card. So this could absolutely be a relationship for you, but even if it's not a romantic relationship, like maybe your partner knows a lot about sailing. I have no idea why I'm talking about sailing. I don't sail. It's totally outside of like my experience. So maybe someone here is a sailor. But that could also mean for you, if you also have no like reference to sailing, this could also just be like your pipe dream, right? So if I'm saying sailing and you're like, what are you talking about? Sub in whatever you've like your wildest dreams here for sailing, right? That could be like knitting for you. Like maybe you've always been very like logical person and you want to start a knitting club, whatever it is, like There's something here about really following your heart to a place that you've not gone to before. You've always thought was outside of your realm. And this could absolutely be like, maybe your partner knows a lot about sailing. Maybe your partner knows a lot about knitting. But this is like a perfect relationship. Choose love. That's what the Lovers is saying. Even if it's not a romantic relationship, it could be a business partnership, it could be a friendship. If it's not a relationship at all, the Lovers card is telling you to make a choice from love. The Lovers card, you get to choose. And are you choosing love or are you choosing fear? Choose your heart, not your mind. Choose your heart, not your mind. That's basically what pile 1 needs to know. And what are you willing to sacrifice, pile 1? What are you willing to hang up in order to like let yourself move forward? And I'm going to say that that's going to be your judgments. I'm going to say you need to sacrifice the way that you've thought about life before. I'm going to say that you need to hang up any kind of self-judgment, any kind of fear, any kind of ill will you have towards yourself. Knight of Wands, yeah, in reverse here. So flying out sideways like this tells me you really need like right motivation, right? So if we have the Knight of Swords and he is like too excited, it can be exceptionally hot. The fire can like come in really hot. Oh my God, I'm going to learn all about sailing. And then like you spend a whole night up reading all the books and then you never look at it again. You get sick of it. And when it's in reverse, we're like, we don't have the fire for life yet. We really need to get reignited. We really need to like light our passion for life again. So flying out sideways, this really kind of tells me like you guys need to find that right balance between too much excitement and like not enough motivation. So as you're moving forward here, the message for you guys, pile number 1, is to really follow your heart. Give up anything that doesn't serve you here. Lean into the best teachers that are helping you follow your heart's desire versus any naysayers, including your own mind. But really, when we see court cards, they're people from around us, outside of us, characters in our lives. And know that you are being like so supportive. Follow the natural rhythm here, like divine timing, the natural courses of nature. If it's a sailing trip, maybe you don't go in the fall or spring when there's a lot of weather, right? Sub whatever it is that your heart's desire is, and find all of the resources you need in the unlikeliest of places. Go take a night walk, be a raccoon, right? Like if it's trash day, like walk by all the trash things, and maybe outside of a recycle bin is like the most amazing old sail someone threw out, right? Something like that. So pile number 1, I hope you have an amazing next little bit here, and we'll move on to pile number 2. All right. So if you chose the butcher string here, the multicolored string here, this reading is for you. Pile number 2. I love these creative pile number readings. We should do these more often. Seal, structure, and air. Beautiful. Okay, let's start with air. 22. So it's like the master number 11 combined. Okay, so this is all about your thoughts, your thought process, and how you are communicating. Pile number 2. Look at those horses. I know it's air, but it's also like look at this tiny little... Okay, interesting. It's a hot air balloon there in the bottom, but you can barely see it, and it's really eclipsed by all of these horses coming through. This is saying like, don't let your mind take over your dreams this month, right? Like your mind might be in service to your dreams and what you want to manifest, but these horses need to be reined in, right? There's a way to say, let's just ride crazy. Let's just like let it all go. But air, motion, this is you being communicative this month. This is you sending out communications. This is you like writing a novel this month. Look at all of this power when it comes to communication, when it comes to like your brain, your thought process, the words that you want to say. And it's really elevated. There could be so much inspiration coming from spirit. There could be so much inspiration just coming to you this month. Like if you've been sitting down to write a novel or a book and you just have not been inspired, this is a time where you might just have so many ideas, like you cannot get them down fast enough. But make sure that they're not trampling all over the dreams that you really want to see soar, or structure, or fantasy, or like play in your life. So it's really about the balance here of motion and air this month. And air can be exceptionally ungrounded, right? This is all in the sky. So when this comes in, you want to balance whatever momentum you're feeling mentally and intellectually. Maybe this is you like not getting enough of a book or a series or learning, but are you eating during the day, right? Are you taking care of your body? Are you taking care of your relationships? Let's see what else is coming in for you. Oh my gosh, this is really beautiful actually. So structure here in the middle is combining the Seal and Valerian. So this deck will combine sort of animals and plant medicines. So structure in between the Seal, Valerian, and air. And these are really opposing energies. So here we have air, the mental body, mental stimulation, intellectual conversations, reading, writing, being in concert with other people. The Seal, Valerian, this is about dreams. This is about deep emotion. This is about swimming in your heart's desire and in your intuition, and also being sort of in the land of fantasy. How much dreaming are we doing, and how much are we able to bring that into real life, and how much more dreaming do we actually need to do to sort of inspire ourselves? And Valerian, the plant medicine that helps us sleep, that helps calm the body and stimulate the mind to be in that dreamlike state and really take in all of those visions. So either one of these can be to excess, right? So, I mean, I hope not, but this could like reference drug use as well, right? Like if pile number 2, if you've been partying a lot, bring it home, baby. Come on back, dry out a little bit. I'm guessing that's not too many of you, but that can be super indicative of like being outside of your mind, feeling a lot of inspiration from plant medicines potentially, right? So structure right here in the middle. What feels the most grounding to you? What feels the most structured to you, and structured in the most productive, best way for you, pile 2? So where can you set up structures for yourself that contain this for the most beautiful, the most advantageous way for you? If you are writing a book, right, is it getting up and writing every day from like 10 to 3 and then putting it down and not thinking about it anymore? Like really containing all of this and funneling it into the most amazing, most productive channel for you. And similarly for your heart space, for your dreamland, for the ways that you can be envisioning or feeling right now. Are you really, really in your feels? What kind of structure can you set up to be in your feels and also use that to your best advantage, right? What kind of structure do you need? Is that like getting support? Is that getting professional support? Is that getting a time to talk to your friends? Is it setting up a time every day to just like actually feel, go into grief mode, or like watch videos that make you laugh all of the time? Whatever it is, there's something about feeling really bridging the mental and the emotional this month and finding structure for yourself that's going to really ground those for you. So we'll pull, it's so funny, pile 1's card kind of flew out like that too. We'll pull a few tarot cards here just to flesh out the message for you. But this is really cool. I just love that bridge between head and heart for you, and both on the extremes. So oops, I just flipped that over. You're really gonna have such a fun time. You have so much like raw material available to you, whether that's, you know, your emotional body, whether that's like your mental body. You have so much on both ends of the spectrum that can be so much creative juice. You just have to figure out a way to like plant it, a way to funnel it, a way to channel it that's going to be really productive for you. Knight of Pentacles in reverse, 4 of Swords in reverse, and the 7 of Swords. Okay, pile 2. We'll get some clarifiers, but the Knight of Pentacles in reverse says there's like a fits and starts efforts to how you're moving forward. The Knight of Pentacles is also could be someone around you who might be hindering a project that you're doing, but since court cards can often represent people in our periphery, around us, in our life versus ourselves. So the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is like, it's hard to get moving. There's a stagnation here. There's a resistance to like moving forward on the path. About doing like the physical tasks, about getting up, you know, religiously in the morning at 8 a.m. and like going to work out, or going to get your, like moving towards your goals, right? Eating healthy, whatever it is, building the house. Like the Knight of Pentacles is tangible. He's working on projects. He is steadily moving forward towards his goals. And even if he doesn't get there for like 10 years, he's going to get there. Like he is steady. He is sure. He is the most reliable of all of the knights. Can be slow sometimes. So when we see him in reverse, it's like, what is holding you up from moving forward? What else does pile 2 here need to know? Let's move these up so they are more visible. I'm trying to be better about that with the camera for you guys. What does pile 2 need to know here, aside from the fact that obviously I have the most gorgeous singing voice, about the Knight of Pentacles in reverse? Clarify that here for you guys. 3 of Cups. Okay, interesting. 3 of Cups is going to be your way in or out. 3 of Cups is celebration. It's getting together with your people. It's celebrating life. So are you partying too much that you're not getting to your goals, or are you hibernating too much and you need to actually focus on utilizing your connections and networking and celebrating, getting out of your head a little bit? Only you're going to know. But Knight of Pentacles is on either side of that spectrum. It's like it really needs some support moving forward. It really needs some support getting that energy going. So do you need to get the energy going towards really focusing on the structure here? Do you need to like eliminate some partying you're doing, which could absolutely be the case, pile number 2? Or do you really need to celebrate? Do you need to kind of like get out of your own stagnation? Are you at home alone a lot these days? This is going to be a really obvious one. I don't think you're going to have to be like, oh, which one am I? Like, I feel like this is going to be very obvious. Like, yep, I've been working all of the time. I haven't been focusing on my dreams. I've been having all of these ideas about what I want to do, or, you know, the book that I want to write. I stay up late thinking about it and I'm dreaming about it, and I'm so sad that I can't like move forward on writing this novel because I'm working all of the time. I'm not starting any of it at all. You know, I'm sitting at home just like doing nothing. Go out and like have a drink with friends. Maybe it's tea or coffee. Go out and like invite your family out and like have a good time, enjoy life. And that's going to be your answer through the stagnation. Vice versa, if you've been going out a lot, if you have been avoiding the structure by spending time with friends, spending a lot of time with family, making celebrating your priority, bring it home, girl. Bring it home. Give yourself some structure. Come in and just give yourself like a few things to do every day that are tangible, that are structured to move you forward. Because the 4 of Swords in reverse. The 4 of Swords is our nap card, right? The 4 of Swords says, hey, you've been working really hard. It's time to put it all up and take a nap. And when we see it in reverse, you've napped too long. The nap has gone on too long. It's time to come out of the nap. So, ooh, look at those 2 cards that just flew out. We're sort of like here in Seal Valerian land that has like gone on too long. Come on out. Wake up, get a cup of coffee going. And we have Temperance here and the Page of Wands in reverse. Interesting. So 4 of Swords in reverse here says, you know what, it's time to wake up. It's time to kind of get back to work here. And Temperance says there's going to be a real energy of balance. So it doesn't mean that things are going to be like equilibrium, but this is actually really beautiful. Temperance is exactly the card that goes here. People often think of Temperance as like a very tame, like calm card. No. Temperance has 1 card in like choppy waters and 1 card on the land. So it's the eye of the storm. Temperance is the eye of the storm. There could be a whole bunch of crazy wind horses happening here in your mind. There could be like an avalanche of thoughts and like just bustle, hustle in terms of your mental body and intellect. And there could just be a total softening of the heart here in a way that you want to just sleep all day to sort of mitigate maybe what this energy or whatever it is. Temperance is that gorgeous energy that bridges both. So this is really beautiful. It says, be confident in waking up, be confident in stepping out, because you are going to find that peace that you get napping. Instead of napping for it, you're going to find the peace within that lets you hold both of those spectrums. It's really encouraging you to find that structure that lets you be the bridge. And the Page of Wands in reverse here. Okay, I got it. I was like, what is that talking about? It's saying don't start new projects. Don't do it. Don't give yourself more than you already have on the table, pile 2, because you are full of exceptional ideas. You are full of like so much that's already here to be worked with. Don't get excited and let your mind or your heart kind of slip off to other avenues and work on other things here. It's really time to just like focus in and balance on what you have on the table and deal with like the raw energetics that you are holding at this point. 7 of Swords. All right. You know what? Seven of Swords is always about, to me, self-sabotage. Not always, but almost always. Seven of Swords, our swords being like our mental body, how we're thinking, how we're talking about ourselves, really. And when we see Seven of Swords, it's a sneaky energy. He's moving away from the battlefield. They could probably really use a lot of help back there. But here he is like, you know what? I don't really care. So in what ways are you holding yourself back? In what ways do you believe that you can't do it? In what ways are you thinking negatively about yourself that's holding you up, pile two, that you need to just like let go of or get rid of? Maybe part of your structure is listening to positive affirmations every morning or in the evening to really soothe whatever like negative self-talk is going on for you guys in the middle. Let's see. Yeah. So Three of Swords here. I love the Three of Swords card because to me, it's such a confirmation. It's such a affirmation of how much grief matters, how much our feelings matter. When we see the Three of Swords, it's never like an indication that you will be sad or that like sad things are coming. It's such an invitation to hold whatever is sad, to hold whatever feelings are inside and honor them and let them out and give them space and time to breathe and sing and speak. You know, and this could really be what you're up against right now, is feeling like you want to move forward with a project, but there's so much sadness. There could be a lot of loss that you're feeling, pile number two. How do you bridge the two so that you don't let this hold you back and you don't let this hold you back and you move forward? And part of the answers here are get moving. You're going to find balance. Don't let your inertia stop you. Find a way forward from this, whether it's more or less activity in your social life, and let yourself grieve, let yourself feel, let it out. Give yourself time and space to allow your emotions to breathe. And that will help you find that structure. Don't be afraid that you're going to be overwhelmed. This is a really cool reading, pile two. I'm so glad that you're here and I hope it goes super well. All right, let's get pile number three going. Move these off to the side. All right, pile number three. So if you chose this amazing calligraphy pen, I haven't used this one yet, but it has a whole set and they are just like so spectacularly fun. So if you chose the calligraphy pen, let's see what you got going on this. Pick a card here. The Biome Connection, 44, really beautiful. Self-doubt and bones. Wow, these go beautifully together. Okay, so the Biome and Connection is kind of like the World card. It can be a really big energy to hold. You know, no big deal. Like the entirety of the universe here, the entirety of the world. It's all connected. Oh my gosh, okay, it's wow, I'm getting so many messages all at once. You could be in a place, pile number three, where you have grown, where you have really asked for a certain perspective or a certain level of growth in life. Maybe you've gotten to a place in your career or in your love life or in your home life or in your physical life. Maybe you've moved to some place that feels amazing right now. You're in a place where you have grown to really see the bigger picture, or the bigger picture has kind of come into focus. Maybe you're looking back and you're really seeing how it all fits in, but it's a lot to take in, right? The Biome Connection can be a really high place. It can be a place that can feel a little wobbly. It can feel full of successes. We only get here once we've built the castle and hung out with the giraffe and had all of these different experiences. And then, towards the end of life or towards the end of a project or towards the end of a culmination of something, you can step back and see, oh my God, not only is that project complete or so beautiful and finished, but it's also a culmination of so many pieces that I've worked towards. And look at how many other people I'm affecting by what I've done. And there's a lot to take in here. So this is a really beautiful place to be, and it can be overwhelming. That's the word I'm looking for. Which leads me to this self-doubt card and the bones card, which go beautifully together. So self-doubt, there can be all kinds of ways we look back at even our successes and say, was I sure I wanted to do that? Am I sure that I want to be here? Looking in the mirror and seeing a poor image of yourself despite all of the successes and where you've come to. It's kind of like when you have succeeded to an extent that you have not done so before. I've had this experience in the recent past where I struggled a lot to get to a place financially and professionally. I worked really, really, really hard for years. And I got to a place where everything was like better than I could possibly have imagined. I was like stable. I was calm. I had supportive people at work. I had like projects I knew what to do with. I had like really fulfilling work. And I didn't even know what to do with myself. I was confused. I felt confused. I was like, wait, are you sure this is right? Like, am I bored? Do I just like not like this anymore? Like all of a sudden coming to that place, I just didn't even know how to feel anymore. And I feel like this is kind of the connection here. It's like, are you feeling a lot of self-doubt based on where you are? And is that really true? I want you to really question pile 3 if your self-doubts are true. First of all, they never are, because our higher self always, like, we are always in the exact place that we need to be. So if you are having a lot of self-doubts, just know that it's time to assuage yourself and rest and calm your mind and think about something that is happy. And that doesn't mean that you're like spiritually bypassing. It means that if you do need to course correct, that will happen, but it will happen from a place of like love and support and wellness. That's going to get you to your highest and most best outcome, versus berating yourself or saying you didn't do the right move or thinking you wanted to end up on a different planet, but here you are with this gorgeous planet. You know, it's like, look back and see that you've actually accomplished so much. Like, you can choose either one of these. You can choose, like, here you are holding this beautiful cup that you have manifested and that you've created, and it's like bejeweled. You've fought for every one of these jewels. You've like bled, sweat, cried, manifesting each one of these, or bringing each one of these to life, potentially in a, you know, hard way, but potentially in a really amazing, fun way. And from it, there's like this whole success that's happened. You are shining bright now. You have like come to the success moment. You've come to the pinnacle in some way in your life, and you're holding it all up. You're doing all of the work to just hold it up and show maybe the world what you've done. And it's hard to see. Maybe it's hard to see yourself in success. We have so much practice sometimes, like tending to our nervous systems or looking back and, you know, processing things through like therapy, or if you need to address past hurts or wounds, but we don't always have the same practice expanding our nervous systems for how much joy or love or connection we can have. And that is so important. So sometimes when you reach those levels or those goals, it can feel confusing. You might feel like you did something wrong, when really there's just like this shining star on a cup of bedazzled like gold chalice that you've like created in your life. So really check yourself, pile number 3. Like, are you really in a place where you're berating yourself? And if you are, calm that mind. And can you really look back and just focus on the brilliance that you are? Because the Bones card asks us to really focus on our core self. Who are you really at your core? And are you supporting that, or are you denying yourself that? And with the self-doubt card, I'm wondering if you're denying yourself that. And when we deny ourselves, or when we doubt ourselves, it whittles away at our core self. We can't show up fully resourced. The Bones asks you to whittle away anything that doesn't matter and focus on the core values, the core structure, the core of who you are, what you're doing, what you believe in, who you're spending time with. The Bones, like, what matters the most. The 34 there too is a 7, and the 7 is a really magical number. It's about genius in a way, and it's really about consideration. How are we thinking about what we're doing, considering what we're doing? So let's get some tarot cards out for you and see how else we can support you. Pile number 3. I mean, congratulations. That's what I want to say here. Congratulations. You've just completely like up-leveled a whole bunch. Yes, you did. Okay, wow. Well, here you are. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we have the Fool, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 3 of Swords here. So starting off with the Fool, yes, perfect like card here to see at this level. So you have completed something, pile number 3. You've really come to the end of a whole cycle, and you're starting something new. That could be really scary. See how like he doesn't really have a body, he doesn't have a face. Like, there's a lot that's not formed here yet because he doesn't have any like notions. He's also not very grounded. Mostly traditionally the Fool card is like right at the edge of a cliff. So it's like running into new adventures without any hesitation because you don't have any fear yet. You don't have any fear, but it also means you don't have a lot of grounding. And so that's potentially where some of the self-doubt comes in. Let's go ahead and get a clarifier card here just to see if there's any extra support we can find here for you. Okay, well, all the cards want to come out and say hi. They're like, we have so much support for you. You're doing such a great job. Here's all of the reasons why it's going to be so much fun on this next iteration. Congratulations. The Knight of Swords. Yes, girl. Calm any fears you have and tell anyone else who's coming at you right now with naysaying or shitty ideas about where you are, where you're going. If it's other people in your life that are feeding that negative self-doubt loop, cut them out. Just say no. Just say no. I was teaching my niece about how to look for poison oak. And instead of like saying, here it is, like every time we would be hiking or see it out and about, I just say no. Like wherever it is, I'm just like pointing at it and like saying a huge no. And she knows what that means now. And so anytime she passes it now, I don't even have to say anything. She just says no. And like, you know, she's calling it out now. She's seeing it. I've taught her to see it and to like react in a way that gives her awareness about it. And that's what this is telling you. Oh, I just love her so much. And I love the little game that we played, but it also worked. Like now she has this awareness of what she doesn't want to mess with if she doesn't want to get a poison oak rash. Same thing with you, pile 3. Like, I want you to just say no when it comes to people in your life who are like, I don't know, that doesn't seem like a really fun thing to do. Or like, are you sure you want to jump in that relationship? Or are you really sure you want to like open that art gallery or whatever it is? If you have people that are naysayers in your life, but especially pile number 3, if you are your biggest naysayer, just say no. If you see that, hear that voice come up, just say no. Put your hand up, push it away. And then sub it with a thought that's like really brilliant and beautiful. I might not be able to see the outcome right now. I might not be able to see myself as like the most amazing person, but you know what? I can make room in my presence that says like, that could be possible. You can have that thought, even if you can't have the thought that like, I'm the most amazing person in the world. It doesn't have to go from 0 to 60. Just stop the flow of negativity and you're going to go a really long way because you have Wheel of Fortune right here, which is so beautiful. Completion. Enjoy where you're at, pile 3. Like, look at this. It's the same card. It's the same situation. You are on top of the world because of how hard you've worked to come this far. All of these signs here are the fixed signs of the zodiac. Taurus, fixed earth. Leo, fixed fire. Scorpio, fixed water. Aquarius, fixed air. You are learned. You are full of the wisdom of all of the experiences you have had. And in this particular card, you might be doing so partnered. Look at that beautiful bird. It's the 10, it's completion, it's integration of a first beautiful round of lessons through the major arcana archetypes, and you're reaping the benefits of that. Sometimes that can also be financial. So you might have a financial windfall here. Maybe that's what this is all about. You know, it could be like those people that win the lottery and then they like lose all their money because they can't keep it. The Emperor, really beautiful. Be the emperor of your own life. If you do win the lottery, invest it well. Like, know that you are worthy. This is a card of massive self-worth. The Emperor doesn't doubt himself. Are you kidding me? The Emperor doesn't doubt himself, and he also creates so much structure for other people to live in. So not only is he not doubting, but he holds up all kinds of vision and implementation for other people. And if they're like, hey, I don't want to do this, or this doesn't work for me. I mean, he can be overbearing, but he's also like, I don't really care because this is the right way. This is who you are for yourself, pile 3. You just have to lean into it. And the 3 of Swords is beautiful to see here. This is a rough card, but I was just saying for pile number 2, who got this as a clarifier, the 3 of Swords is so beautiful. It's never a herald of grief. It's never a herald of bad things to come. It is such an invitation to invite the grief, the pain, the gorgeous sensation of sadness inside you to be heard, to be seen. If there are ways that you have felt slighted, if there are ways that are really sad, oh my gosh, okay, this makes a lot of sense, because once we get to a completion, there's so much that we give up to go on to the next thing. We don't know, right? The Fool doesn't know yet. He doesn't have new friends. He doesn't have the new place to live yet. He doesn't have like all of the things that make us feel really stable. There's so many things that like have to wash away, even in the beauty, even in the excitement of completion or finishing. Think about graduating from class, high school, college, grad school, right? You created a community, you had like so much structure. And even though you're so excited for the next thing, it's time for you to move on. There's the sadness of leaving what you knew and what was familiar and what you really enjoyed about the last process behind. And this card is telling you lean into that process. It's time for you to lean into whatever it is that needs to wash away. Honor that within yourself. It's going to be so beautiful and it's really going to help you move forward. Let's just get one last clarifier here. Is there anything else that could really help pile number 3? What flew out here? Oh, the King of Pentacles. Doing so is going to bring you so much stability and so much affluence. There could be a lot of wealth derived here, whether that's personal or financial. There's so much to be gained physically and financially from you releasing anything that no longer serves you and honoring that pain body, really holding that inner child, really holding that inner self of you that really just is sad for what you're leaving behind, and honoring that because you've worked really, really hard to get to where you are. So I love that this is calling out your self-doubt. It's not that it needs to be there. It's not that, what am I trying to say? This is calling out what's already here so that you can address it and just enjoy what you've worked really hard for. And just cut out the negative feelings and realize that you are like so excited to be this freaking superstar with your accomplishments, and really support yourself. Come into exactly what is core for you, pile number 3. What is really, really essential for you? What do you really, really believe in? You believe that you're a good person. You believe that you came really far in your own acclaim. And enjoy the shit out of this moment. This view is fabulous. The Wheel of Fortune, you made it. So if you're having any doubts, no. Just say no. Let me know how that works for you. Thanks so much for being here.